Alright, just a few simple tricks in terms of text. So we have something like that, text. So I'm just gonna put in text, and as you can see there, I have the text, black text on, actually it's transparent background. This is the text layer, right? And this is the background layer, it's pure white. I'm just gonna add another layer here, which is a, just a layout that shows Mount Everest like this. You can have a different layout. For example, if you're coming out, let's say for example you are doing a poster and it's come and join us, it's very hot, so maybe you might want mountains with volcanoes or something which is hot and stuff, right? So I'm just gonna get this Mount Everest layer to the bottom, right? So I have this text layer. I'm just gonna discard the text information first. Now it becomes a bitmap layer, right? And I'm just gonna go to background and add a layer mask, right? White full opacity, add, make sure that it's chosen, and I'm just gonna go to the text layer, just cut it, Control X, and then choose the layer mask for the background, white background, then Control V, right? And immediately we'll have this effect, which can look pretty nice, and so you can use this immediately, right? So this is the first text manipulation, right? I'm gonna show you the next one. Maybe I should have never mind. Text 2. I'm just gonna name this layer text 2, right? And yeah, edit fill with background color. So I have this white, and let's have another layer called text. So these are some manipulation that you can do with regards to your text. Text, right? All right. So I guess I should be consistent in always showing you at least one new tool that we haven't used before in each of our sessions. So I'm just gonna select this text, or maybe I should discard the text information first, right? Select this text, and then I'm just gonna use this. It's called I call it gradient tool, but apparently I think some points, some reference materials will call it the blend tool, right? So what is the gradient tool? Basically, it just colors in a gradient, meaning to say that instead of a solid color, you can have something like this, right? So that is another text manipulation that we can have, right? But before that, I think it's legit. Some people will ask, sir, how do we have an outline for a text, right? So we have never done that before yet. So let's do that first. I'm just gonna select that color and then grow that selection by about 2 pixels or 3 pixels. Grow by about 5 pixels. Okay, so I don't know if you can see or not, but there is actually, I selected the text and then I grow it, meaning I have a slight bit of, I'm just gonna grow it a bit more, like select, grow. I'm gonna grow it like maybe 20 pixels. So you notice that the line outside of the text is growing, right? You can do this on your own as well, meaning to say that in your own screen you can select your text or whatever things you have inside your layout, and then select it. You can use the select by color tool or magic wand fuzzy select tool. Once you've selected it, you can go to select and grow, and then choose a particular number. I'm gonna choose let's say 100, which makes it even more apparent, right? So now it's growing like that. So you can imagine I can use this as some form of an outline, right? Instead of that, maybe just 5, grow 5. Select none, right? I'm gonna choose this, and then I'm gonna select grow to 5, right? So I have a slight bit of selection. Then I'm just gonna create a new layer. I'm just gonna name this layer outline, right? Alrighty. And I'm just gonna color outline. I'm just gonna fill it with foreground color, which is black, right? Then I'm going back to this text layer, select it, right? Choose maybe a different color for the text, maybe red like that, right? And then edit fill with foreground color, right? Then I'm just gonna do this, right? Now I have my text with an outline. I don't know if you can see that or not, right? I have my text with an outline. Is because the background is actually this black text, whereas the foreground is the red text, right? So this is another thing that might be desirable for you. You might want to do something like that, like an outline, right? So next up, let's do this. Again, I'm going to select that, right? Using the color picker tool, right? And I'm just going to use this ellipse select tool, and there are different modes here. I'm just going to use subtract from the current selection, and then just do something like this, right? Right. So as you can see there, what happens is I'm selecting parts of it. Now I'm just going to select black, pure black, and use the blend mode and do something like this. Right. Example. Right, so that is the blend mode. Let's say I'm happy with this, right? So I have that kind of an effect. If you play this carefully, you can actually create a kind of like a shining text kind of thing. That's another thing that you can do, right? Next up, I'm just gonna do this. Again, something that you might want to do with regards to your text, which is creating a sort of like a 3D effect, right? So I'm just gonna go to the filters, light and shadow, and I'm gonna choose long shadow, right? And maybe have it at a different color, blue or something like that, right? Okay, but maybe not too far away, right? So there I create a somewhat 3D effect, right, for my text. And so these are things that you can do with regards to manipulating your text, right? So